I'm Naysan Saran, co-founder and CEO of CANN Forecast.
Tell us in 30 seconds or less what CAN Forecast does.
At CANN Forecast, we leverage artificial intelligence to help municipalities and now private companies as well better manage their water and their infrastructure. So we have two products, IntelliSwim, which predicts water quality in lakes and rivers, and we have IntelliPipes as well, which identifies which water mains are most likely to break in the short term, so cities can replace them proactively.
What has been your experience so far in growing and in scaling your company? We know that's usually the hard part. And what were your main challenges? How have you overcome them?
Regarding the main challenges that we have, one is that we've been taking a lot of pride in producing high quality results. And as we scale, as we get more customers, the team, because we invested so much in training them and generating such high quality output, it's difficult to scale the same level of quality as fast as the demand comes. And so it's a blessing for us. It's a good problem to have. But really, we decided if ever we have to compromise quality, we're going to scale slower. So now we're in a situation where we actually tell some of the people that are interested in working with us, can you wait until March before we start the project so we can make sure that we can give you the same quality as all of our customers so far.
What are the key pressure points that Canadian SMEs entering this scale up phase face? I'm thinking about things like access to capital or maybe mentorship or human resource challenges. And what do you think we're doing right in Canada versus what we could do better?
So I think we're doing a lot of things right in Canada. So at least in Quebec, the whole ecosystem for mentorship for startups is huge and very active. So just to give you an idea, so we have Mentor Connect, which is it was basically founded at MIT, and now it's taking over in Canada as well. So it's um, a bunch of very experienced entrepreneurs, people from the public sector who are willing to give a few hours of their months to young entrepreneurs to teach them how to do the business. We have Montreal Inc. So this is something, it's for Montreal, but now it's starting to also get to Longueuil, some of the cities close to Montreal. Entrepreneurs can apply, and once they apply, usually they get into the cohorts where they get training and they get feedback. We have a lot of accelerators throughout Quebec. So this, I think, is really nice for startups that want to scale. At the same time, I think access to human resources, specifically in AI, it's becoming more and more difficult to find the right people to do the job, because you have the best researchers are taken usually by big firms, and then everybody else usually says they can do AI, but they don't necessarily have all the credentials to do it. So
What are some of the supports that you think are maybe missing in the Canadian ecosystem, or something that maybe exists somewhere else, even in another country, that you think would be most useful, especially right now in this very unique context we find ourselves in?
one of the things that I've come to realize that could be improved in the way we're doing business and innovation, specifically in AI, is that through certain organizations like MyTax, the government has allowed companies and startups like us to actually work with academia. But we're still two different worlds in the sense that as a startup, you have to iterate as fast as you can to bring a product to market. So once you have something that's good enough, it's good enough to iterate and bring to market. But academia, they have to publish papers, they have to take their time to do their literature review, etc. So both of us are trying to innovate in the long run, but I think that the incentives are different on each side. And it's, I think maybe if we could all come together and think of a way to implement a lean startup methodology for bringing R&D from academia to the industry and then to the hands of the people, that would be a game changer, really.
how can we ensure that our tech companies can commercialize, can thrive in Canada and of course internationally, and where possible stay Canadian?
I believe in Canada we're very, very good in research and development. And this gets to the point that I wanted to bring earlier about maybe bringing a lean startup way of thinking to the collaborations between academia and the industry, because we have to agree on a definition of what's good enough so we can push that to market as soon as possible. Because we I think it's going to be amazing if we keep publishing and we keep being known by for our research, but at some point I think all of these great research should be translated into innovative products that are going to make us shine also by what we're developing for the end customer.
What kind of advice would you give other female founders and entrepreneurs based on your experience?
The biggest advice that saved us at least was to stay as close as possible to, to our customers. So even from the beginning, we've been co-developing all of our solutions with our customers. And even before we start a new project, we just email municipalities and tell them, okay, this is the idea that we have. Would you be interested in being part of it? And they don't need to pay a lot of money, specifically if it's at the beginning and at the creation of the product. But if you can get these future customers to be involved uh, from the beginning of the creation of your product, then at least you know that you have product market fit. And having this is definitely the one thing that I think it's going to save most of the startups, to know that you already have people that are paying for your product even from the beginning.
What would be your advice right now to a company that is literally just on the cusp of scaling up? What are sort of the key elements that you have to have in place, the kind of attitude that you have to have, the kind of plans that you have to be making to successfully launch into this new phase of growth?
Not compromising quality, even though it means that we're going to scale slower, because in the end of the day, customers talk, and it's a small world. So the brand reputation of being an excellent team, of always doing more than the customer has asked for, I think this is something of extreme value that can sustain a business for a long time. So yes, temptation is great because you've built a product, and all of a sudden finally people want it, and they want it more than you can give. But just knowing maybe when to postpone a project if it means that you would have been compromising quality. I believe is going to be important, because at the end, if your brand is strong, then I think that's one of the most important things.
If you had 30 seconds to pitch someone or a group in a position of power, so whether it's the prime minister, the government, or youth entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs, whoever you want, to help improve the ability for Canadian companies to scale up, who would you choose to pitch, and what would you say in less than 30 seconds?
I would choose both the government and academia and the industry. I would choose everyone. Uh, and I would just ask if we can get together and we can start to build a new process to bring innovation faster to people. Because I think we all want the same thing at the end. And if we change some of the incentives for all of the parties involved, we're going to maybe be able to develop a model that other nations will follow.